Hello, this is Martha. I'm a relationship counselor and clinical sexologist. So I'm trying to schedule this video. I have a lot of problems trying to understand how to do a YouTube live stream. Today I already made 2 other videos. One on why people would attend my workshops and another one on my upcoming Brisbane trip. So I hope this works. I have a client coming in 15 minutes, so 20 minutes. I have to make it really short. I hope it's okay with you. So I was inspired to make this video because I keep seeing this again and again with my clients. And this has to do with not really, I guess it applies to all genders. However, of course, I see this more with my clients with penises. I always am very careful to use languaging people with penises or people with vaginas. And in Singapore, I would get people laughing. What does she mean? Of course, she means men and women. No, I actually don't, because not everybody with a penis identifies as male, and not everybody with a vagina identifies as female. I have to be very careful around the languaging because firstly, I want to be accurate as an educator, and then the next reason is in this day and age when people are very sensitive, even malicious, I could be out of a job even by using the wrong references. So if I ever slip up, it's never intentional. I'm never intend to hurt anybody, but I do need to be very careful around the languaging, because ultimately I am an educator and we are held at a higher standard, and we do need to do better so that we can serve better. Okay, so having said that, coming back to what do I mean the hard approach doesn't work. People who come to me come because they have a problem when it comes to their sex, or sexuality, or expression of sex, or lovemaking, whichever you like to call it. Usually this occurs when they are in a partnered relationship. They may already suspect they have a problem when they're by themselves, expressing or exploring their sexuality by themselves. However, when they come to me, often it's because they are in significant distress when they come to see me, because the problem may have happened for some time, and often for a long period of time. And they're coming because if this issue doesn't get resolved, it can often mean a possible breakup with their partner, or even divorce. So I wish more people would seek help sooner, but it is what it is. I work with whoever chooses to come and see me, and because they have a lot of distress, they can, it can really affect me. I try to heal myself and process all that. And what I notice is when it comes to life and sexuality, there's a lot of link between the two. So let's put it in the context of like Asians, because I'm Asian, right? And of course, this also applies to my clients who are not Asians. However, I'm just using the context of Asia. So it's raining here. What happens is that my clients, let's say Asian background, or actually it's universal. We 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 may have that older kind of upbringing, by parents who didn't have much education about raising a child or child developmental studies. And yeah, it's starting to rain really heavily. So our parents don't know better, and they get exasperated and frustrated, as all parents do, and they're just doing the best that they can with the limited skills that they have. So they might say things like, insults. They mean well, maybe they're just exasperated. Things like, don't be a loser, don't be stupid. don't cry, boys don't cry, or they say this to girls like you cry and then you'll be ugly, or nobody will want to be friends with you when you cry. So we kind of like learn how to suck it up, like, and when it comes to our studies, we may have some degree of shaming as well, like, oh, you want to be a road sweeper, do you want to end up poor? And most of our lives, we are told to work hard and to study hard, work hard, study hard, and maybe not necessarily study smart because we didn't know better probably before. And when it comes to graduating past our studies, we enter the working force. And it also is pretty much the same. Like, we now begin to parent ourselves the way our parents parented us. And we may find ourselves saying the same things that we might say the same things that our parents have told us. So like, don't be stupid, work hard, don't be a loser, you don't end up poor. And we are actually very much driven by our fears. So as we start to grow up and we use the same kind of languaging onto ourselves, what happens when someone has a sex problem is they naturally fall into being really hard on themselves and using really tough languaging, such as, don't be a loser, you better not lose your erection, you better not cry, you better not complain, you need to just go through it. So there comes a point when you are going through so much, say for instance, pain on your penis or pain in your vagina during sex. Your body is telling you enough. Your body may shut down, and you don't even know why you don't feel like it. You don't even know why you are repulsed from your partner, or finding excuses, running away from them. And the logical mind says, I shouldn't do that. However, the body is saying enough. And this, we may not realize we have been very hard on ourselves, and we continue to be really hard on ourselves. And this hard way of parenting ourselves, hard way of talking to ourselves, doesn't work. So when my clients come in and like, what should I do? Honestly, like, if I ask a person with a vagina, what do you think you should do that you have no sex drive, you don't feel like having sex, you're having painful sex, what do you think you should do? Often I get the answer, I need to try harder. I need to make myself do it. There comes a point when, yeah, you make yourself do it and you could get some results. But what if it's not about pushing yourself more and not about pushing yourself harder, but being more gentle with yourself, asking yourself, is there the hard approach? Is there a softer approach, a gentler approach? With my clients who are anxious and have fear of going to the unknown, I don't know whether I'm going to get my erection. I don't know how I'm going to control my ejaculation. I just scold myself louder in my head. Maybe that will work. It doesn't work. You're making yourself more nervous, more anxious, more scared, more shut down. So what about the gentle approach? Gentle, gentle, gentle. I used to be so hard on myself as well. And I used to parent myself and used to coach my clients the way that I just like not understand at first. But with more training, with more supervision, experience, I really got it. The need to be gentle with ourselves. So in my work with people who have erectile difficulties, doctors would say there's nothing wrong with you physically. The medications don't seem to work. They come to me. What should I do about my erectile difficulty? What should I do about my premature ejaculation or my delayed ejaculation or painful sex? Depending on what issue they come to me with, I will give them very simple exercises to do to become more connected with their body, to listen to their body and what the body has to say, And also, like, stop being so harsh on yourself. The what you tell yourself when you are sexual with yourself or with your partner, because our mind is our most powerful sex organ. So if you're hurling abuse at yourself, your body will go like, enough, and maybe shut down. Maybe you lose your erection because of that. So how about being more mindful and more gentle when you're pleasuring? If you are more comfortable with extended pleasure and you're comfortable with getting and losing your arousal, including your erection, then maybe you will be more comfortable when you're with your partner. That is not about performance, and it's just about allowing. It comes and it goes. When the penis is stimulated, you get erect. When the penis is not stimulated, you lose your erection. Just because you lose your erection doesn't mean you cannot get it back up again. So I teach my clients a lot of masturbation techniques. And people think, oh, you're a woman, what do you know? Well, I have very specific sex therapy training, and I've been doing this for 11 years. I'm sorry I'm a woman, but I have worked with many people, and I have been able to help many people. I still get that. I'm sorry I don't have a penis. I wish I did, because it might be easier working with people with penises, because people with penises, just like people with vaginas, we all need compassion. We all need somebody that we feel safe to talk to. So it does get scary for me, putting myself out there and getting harassment and getting like bullying and being called a slut and being told that I'm ugly. It does hurt. It does hurt. But why am I still here? Because I see that both men and women, now I'm using men and women specifically, need healing around our sexuality. I'm somebody who gets bored easily doing the same thing again and again. So I do enjoy working with men, and men are beautiful. And so I don't give up what I do. Although there are days that I feel down because of the kind of things in the shadows that I don't want to talk about, because I don't want to draw attention to the abuse that I get, because I believe in law of attraction. I rather focus on the positive rather than the negative. So I don't really, very rarely do I want to talk about the negative. So by being gentle with ourselves, uh, why? Because nobody else is probably going to be gentle with you. If you don't start by being gentle with yourself and healing yourself, when is the healing going to start? It starts from your childhood, that you didn't get compassion and gentleness and patience. So you be gentle and patient and loving to yourself. You heal yourself. You're an adult now. There was a time it was not safe. You needed to suck it up. And then there's the time that you are now an adult that you need to heal yourself. So I'm very passionate about sharing my free, clean and clear online program, because I believe part of it is letting go what doesn't serve us so that more pleasure can come into our lives. And I believe that being gentle with ourselves is the way to go. So in my working with clients with erectile difficulties and with premature ejaculation and delayed ejaculation, I teach them Kegels. I teach them genital massage with mindfulness. I teach them with changing the way that they masturbate so that they expand their range of awareness and sensations that is possible in their body, so that they can become more present and less into pattern, less into dependency on porn or on fantasy, because it is hurtful when you're with your partner and your partner can sense that you are there but you're not really there. You are there physically but you're mentally not there, or emotionally you seem to be blank or checked out. This is because you're trying to help yourself. Maybe you're trying to fantasize, trying to talking to yourself, get it out, or stay hard, and you're not actually present. This makes the whole experience feel really empty. Even if there's the erection and then the ejaculation, the experience itself actually doesn't feel that great. So by being more comfortable with practicing by ourselves, going to the unknown, we become more comfortable with what we would like to experience when we're with our partner. A lot of what I teach is actually common sense. However, it's uncommon common sense, because we don't have this information readily available. And with my clients, whether they have a penis or whether they have a vagina, we do a lot of this negative self-talk. We do shame ourselves, we do scold ourselves, and at some point we just shut down. So by talking about being gentle and compassionate and loving to ourselves, I'm also talking about the seeds that we plant. Maybe at first they don't seem to make any big difference, but just like a seed, it takes time to grow. And so what if we start being gentle with ourselves with the littlest things, the smallest things, the simple things, going back to the basics. I could go on and on about this because, oh my God, you won't believe the kind of life that I lived. I could make a whole video program about my life. I had to learn how to love myself each time I went through a major heartbreak, and I couldn't beat myself up to recovery. I couldn't bully myself. I couldn't shame myself. I couldn't scold myself. I was already broken. When someone is broken and scared and wounded and hurt and crawling on the floor, they need compassion. So are you compassionate to yourself? Because the words that we use on ourselves when it comes to sex is go, 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 hard, fast, faster. You know, and we abuse ourselves. I call this poison. It takes time for poison to become poisonous, in case you don't realize. The toxins that we eat takes time to build up in our body, and then it really starts to affect our sex life and our drive and our vitality. So the lifestyles that you lead starts to catch up on you. Maybe it wasn't obvious when you were 16, but at 36, at 46, at 66, it becomes clear. You reap what you sow. So I don't want to scare you guys too much. It's the little things. So when you were young and you got this abuse, yeah, you suck it out and it, like everything seems fine. And then in your 20s, it's still okay. And like 30s, you start to feel really yucks. At 40s or 50s, you start to go into paralysis. So I have very, very, very successful and very rich clients, doctors, lawyers, engineers, very successful. You won't believe it. But the way we talk to ourselves, just because they're successful doesn't mean that they don't abuse themselves. They do. And so when I get them to switch the language that they tell themselves, they're like, I don't need it. I'm fine. What has made them successful makes them feel that they're dependent on this kind of self-parenting. So they're not willing to try anything new because they don't want to rock the boat. They want to keep being that successful, but it is actually already affecting them. It's already playing out in their personal lives. They cannot unwind. They cannot compartmentalize. They cannot be present with their partner because they are so addicted to how wonderful their brain is. They don't know what it means to feel their heart. They don't know what it means to be connected to their body. And when I say gentle, 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 give yourself a breather, things like that, this is not hocus pocus, because I can see this. This is happening in their sex life. But of course, I teach more than that. Of course, I teach more than mindfulness and meditation and relaxation. Of course, I teach them very practical things that they can see the direct link to helping them with their sexuality. Of course, I do that. I have to meet them where they're at. But once they see and they start to understand it, then they start to understand I'm actually teaching more than sexuality. I'm actually teaching them a new way of life. I'm actually teaching them healing and healing their childhood trauma and their wounds that they themselves were not able to see. And I just felt so compelled to make this video because I keep saying this again, 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 again. And of course, I would like more people to hear this message, because I had to learn the hard way. I am a woman with a woman face, with a woman body. I love being a woman, but for the longest time, I really am quite masculine. I really am so direct and so forceful on others and on myself that actually there came a time that, yeah, you reach breaking point. And are we going to wait till we reach breaking point before we learn how to be gentle and patient and loving with ourselves? We don't need to do that. And one of the things, just one a takeaway. One of the things that we can do is go on a nothing to do date with ourselves and just say, okay, I'm not gonna think what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna let my body guide me. I'm just gonna block out 1 hour and just drop the question into my body. Body, what do you want me to do? What if you drop that question into your body as part of your solo sex, your masturbation, self-love practice, which is instead of performing, body, what would you like to do today? I feel horny. I want to scratch the itch. I want to ejaculate. But instead of doing it always the same way, body, what would you like to do? Maybe we can go on a journey and maybe we can change the way we masturbate. Maybe we can do something different this time. Just drop the question into your body. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. I've done this before. You can get my book, Orgasmic Yoga, which is my second book. And I did that. I became so detached to the outcome, like, oh, today I want to come. And just like, okay, I'm going to give myself 30 minutes of pleasure. Body, what do you want? And my body would say, okay, use your vibrator on your spine. I'm like, okay, spine. Okay, it doesn't make sense, but why? And then later it occurred to me it's because I was having a lower back pain from standing all day. It didn't occur to me, but my body told me that. But I had to drop the question into my body first. Pleasure doesn't mean must go from 0 to 10, 10 being orgasm or ejaculation in the shortest amount of time, and then you're accomplished. Sometimes we need to break habits, and sometimes breaking habits mean going slower, taking a different route, going to the unknown. I don't know where I end up. I don't know whether I have an orgasm. And a lot of my clients, especially those with penises, would say, what's the point? What's the point of starting something and not finishing? And maybe sometimes the point is to not finish, and sometimes the point is to break habit, to break attachment to orgasm and ejaculation. Sometimes the point is to just connect with your body. Sometimes the point is to just feel. Sometimes the point is maybe let's not have a point. You get what I'm trying to say? So this is a really long video. It's gone on for 23 minutes. And I just wanted to, in my own long-winded way, explain the point of being more gentle with ourselves and the link with being gentle with our sexuality. And this applies to both men and women, people with penises, people with vaginas. This applies to all of us, all genders. We all have been abused. We all have been bullied. We all have been shamed. We all have been told we are not good enough, work harder, work smarter, uh, uh, otherwise. And we need a different kind of self-talk. Otherwise, we will be more and more scared, more and more wounded, more and more resistant, more and more don't want to try, more and more bad results, more and more stuck in pattern, and more shut down. So start from that. Start from being more gentle with yourself with little things. Start by going on a little date with yourself. Maybe you have 10 minutes, so be it. Maybe you have half an hour, 1 hour, and then make it a weekly practice. And before you know it, I did it. Before you know it, you become more gentle with yourself. And guess what? When I became more gentle with myself, trust me, I was such a different person. When I became more gentle with myself, I became more gentle with people around me. I became more gentle with my clients. And I became more gentle with my clients. It became much easier for my clients. My clients benefited. And so by working on myself, everything around me started to change. When you work on yourself, everything around you will start to change. Your life will change. People around you, your family, your lovers, your children will change because they learn from you. So why perpetuate what wasn't working in your life? So this is Martha of Eros Coaching. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope this works. like this streaming thing. I'm still struggling with this streaming thing. So yeah, check out my website. That's eroscoaching.com, and you can go and check out my events that I'll be running. I'll be running 7 workshops in Brisbane over from this weekend. 7 workshops in Brisbane, and 4 in Byron Bay through Taste of Love Festival. And in April, I will have 11 workshops in Melbourne. And I also run workshops in Singapore. And there's talks of me going back to Sydney in May. So yeah, if you know someone who is willing to host me in your city, by all means, you can reach out to me. Introduce yourself. Yeah, you can reach out to me through my website. That's eroscoaching.com. So thanks for watching this video. Yeah, I have to go. Thanks. Bye.